Hi there, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Cece, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite EPs and albums of this year, 2020. I have quite a few albums that I would like to talk about. I narrowed it down to 10 of my favorite albums. I couldn't make a list of like favorite to least favorite because, well, that's a lot. That's a lot to think about. I'm going to be talking about them in the order of when they came out. So it looks semi like I'm have a structure for this video. Feel free to subscribe if you're interested. And without further ado, let's talk about my favorite EPs and albums. The first one that I'm going to be talking about is Haley Kiyoko's newest EP that came out at like the very beginning of the year. I'm too sensitive for this. She is a very important part of my gender identity journey, and I have so much to thank her for. And just this EP is so great. That personal stuff has nothing to do with the EP, but the way that she structured for this album to came out, she was like, okay, the lead single, that's normal. But then she was like, okay, here's another single, here's another single, here's another single. That kind of conflicts with how I like to listen to things because I'm very hold off on listening to singles that come out because I like to listen to an album or a project as a whole. I listened to I Wish, of course, and I listened to Demons. And I think after that, I was just like, okay, we're waiting for this next project to come out. And that's when I listened to everything else. And I did, and that was like in January. And I really liked it. Demons. Oh, she read my mind with that song. Love Me. So girl, don't tell me you love me if you don't really want me. I love it. Oh, and She. I kind of felt like Demons should have been like an official single. The next album of 2020 that I put on my favorites list is Rare by Selena Gomez. When she came out with Lose You to Love Me, that is a song. That is a song. Look at Her Now. Literally my theme song. I love that song so much. What other songs do I like off of that album? See, I don't want to talk about too much of the songs individually because I might want to make a video talking about my favorite songs of the year. I really liked Rare. I think it was good for Selena. Like she released an album that was very personal to her and it really showed off who she is. The next album that came out this year that I really liked is the soundtrack for The Birds of Prey. Now, this is another thing that a lot of the like people were all like, I don't like Birds of Prey. Let me appreciate this movie. Me and my twin sister love that movie still to this day. The songs off of this album are very like rock pop, and those are like my two favorite genres in one. What artists were on this album? There was Charlotte Lawrence. I love Charlotte Lawrence's song on this album. Halsey. And there were some other artists off this album that I really liked their voices too. And just, I think it was a really good soundtrack. I'm not usually into soundtracks that much, but this one really pulled it off. This next one, Future Nostalgia, Dua Lipa. Yes, I loved this album too. One song on this album though that I feel like deserves more respect, Pretty Please. That song is so smooth. It is a bop. It's perfect. It's so good. And there are a lot of songs off of this album that have gotten the respect that they deserve, but I really think the Pretty Please is underrated. I said it. I really said it. And there are some other good songs. Physical does get the respect that she deserves, and it deserves that respect. Yeah, Dua Lipa really did that. Oh, the next one on my list, so underrated. Half Written Story, Haley Steinfeld. Oh, this one touched my broken heart so much. I think this year, especially, I got into Haley Steinfeld because Wrong Direction came out like at the beginning of the year. Wrong Direction is the lead single off of this EP. That came out earlier in the year, and I listened to that and I loved it. It's like my favorite. I would say, little spoiler alert, it's one of my favorite songs of this year. It hits me deep. The EP as a whole, I Love Yous, Your Name Hurts, and this LOVE, Man Up, Wrong Direction. All 5 of the songs, I love them so much. And Girl, Where's the Other Half? I know Haley Steinfeld talked about having another half of this, and she said it would come out in like the late summer. No one's talked about this from what I know of. Where's the other half? I love her voice, and I love this EP, and I want more. It's such a good EP. I don't think I'm ever gonna get over it, especially with a sensitive heart like mine. The next one, In a Dream by Troye Sivan. This EP started out with, what was the song called? Take Yourself Home. That was the first song that came out with it. I listened to that and I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Still not really a big fan of that song. But Easy then came out. I love Easy. Did you know that there's a remix with Casey Musgraves that came out recently? I didn't do a reaction to it, but what is that? Rage Your Teenager and Stud are the songs that I listen to the most off of this EP now. I don't remember if those were my favorites when I first reacted to it. You'll have to check my reaction video for this EP. Smile by Katy Perry. This is another one that I reacted to on my YouTube channel. This album, like, I did not know what I was expecting. This was my first like full Katy Perry album, just because I gotta admit I wasn't the biggest fan of Katy Perry in the past. I listened to this full album. I really enjoyed it. Like, I still listen to a lot of the songs off of this album. Cry About It Later, Harley's in Hawaii, It's Not the End of the World, or Not the End of the World. Out of all of the albums that I listed on here, it's probably one of the ones I listened to more. The message behind this album was really nice, and it was very apparent through listening to the songs. I felt like they all had a cohesive message with it. The second to last one on this list is the album by Blackpink. I reacted to this one too. This was the album that introduced me to Blackpink. They have a really great sound. Ice Cream with Selena Gomez. Love to Hate Me. Pretty Savage. Oh my gosh. Girl, I'm so mad at myself for not remembering that right off the back of my head. Pretty Savage and How You Like That also. So good. Oh, I'm so glad that like I decided to listen to them. And the last one that I put on my list, which just came out very recently, Plastic Hearts by Miley Cyrus. Whew. The only song off of this album that I listened to before it came out was Midnight Sky, and I loved that song, and I was thinking, okay, Miley's voice really suits this sound. Is it just me? Ever since Nothing Breaks Like a Heart came out, she has just really been with her sound. And then this album came out, like this rock sound that is going on, it's so good. It's so good. Night Crawling with Billy Idol, Gimme What I Want. This album like took my breath away, and you know, especially since it came out really recently, I've been listening to a lot of these songs still, but it's still one of my favorite albums that came out this year. Like, it really did something. I'm just really impressed with it. So those are my favorite albums and EPs of the year. Did you agree with everything I said? Did you not agree with some things? There's some albums or EPs that came out this year that you liked that I did not list. If so, let me know. And if I haven't listened to them, I could give them a listen and see how I like them. Yeah, just let me know. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more. And I might do a follow-up video on my favorite songs of the year, depending on if I feel like it, because my semester did end, but at the same time, I'm exhausted. You know, I want to do more gaming videos, and I'm just going off on a rant right now. So I'm just going to end this video here. Thank you for watching. Bye!